Hi, welcome to Cloud Computing course. In today's session, we'll be discussing about another web service provided by AWS, and that is called Elastic MapReduce. In Elastic MapReduce comes to the same category or group of service called compute. So, this is related to providing the computing resources for any customer or client. So, let us see what is Elastic MapReduce service in AWS for us. Now, this is known as Amazon Elastic MapReduce is also known as Amazon EMR, and it is a service that makes easy to process large amounts of data efficiently using Hadoop framework. So, these are the three different things. So, you have to just remember that what are the three different components in this one, okay? And then you will be easy to understand. First, it helps you to process. Second, it is a large amount of data. And third, using the Hadoop framework. Okay. So, it is a service that helps you to process large. Now, why somebody will use that and how we'll see it very soon. It is used for tasks like web indexing, data mining, log file analysis, machine learning, scientific simulation and data warehousing. So, there are various kinds of work in the software industry and computer science which requires a huge amount of data to be processed very quickly or in a sensible duration of time. So, for that purpose you would need Hadoop, and Amazon also provides you Hadoop to use in the cloud. What it means is that you can spin up a Hadoop implementation of the MapReduce. MapReduce is basically the algorithm which works behind the Hadoop. So, that's it on Amazon EC2 instance. Now, Hadoop has various distribution. It is like a Linux. You have seen that, right? Linux has a Apache distribution. Linux is by HP. Linux is by Red Hat. Linux is by some other company. So, Linux is different flavors of Linux is present there. The same way Hadoop has different flavor. You can have a Hadoop flavor from a company called Houghton. You can have a Hadoop flavor from Cloudera. You can have a Hadoop flavor by Apache. You can have a Hadoop flavor by MapR company. So, there are various distribution of Hadoop. What the distribution which is used by AWS is from MapR distribution. So, that is all you have to just be careful about. Next one is that it is very easy to get 100 or just one instance. If you are learning about MapR or the distribution, you can just create one instance of MapR. You can create 100 instances of MapR. You can create 1000 instances of MapR, and you can process large amount of data, and then once you are done, all that 100 server you can release or shut down, and you do not have to pay after that. The biggest problem it solves is that there is no need to worry about setting up, buying. Basically, first comes about planning, talking to the vendors, thinking about a specification, buying the server, setting up, connecting to the network, making sure it is running properly, starting up, tuning the performance of all the clusters. All of that is taken care by the AWS cloud itself or EMR service, which is called Amazon Elastic MapReduce service. So, EMR takes care of all of this work on behalf of you, and you can focus on your core business, that is data analysis. Okay. So, Amazon Elastic MapReduce enables job flows to be developed in SQL like language such as Hive and Pig as well, or you can work in a non-SQL language as well. So, it is up to you. Now, let us review this thing one more time, and then we will move to the next one. So EMR is a web service that makes it to process large amounts of data efficiently using Hadoop. So that is one part. Second is the used. It is used for what kind of thing? Web indexing, data mining, log file analysis, machine learning, scientific simulation, and data warehousing. So these are the various use cases where you would like to use EMR. It is very easy to spin up a Hadoop implementation of MapReduce using Amazon EC2 instances. Next important thing is that, like, there are various flavor of Linux, there are various flavor of Hadoop. The one which is used by Amazon AWS EMR is called MapR distribution. You can use just one server, you can use 100 servers, you can use 1000 servers for this MapR distribution. It is all up to you. You don't have to worry about setting up, running, or tuning the performance of Hadoop clusters, because all of that comes default with EMR service. You can just focus on data analysis, which is your core part of it. Okay, so focus on you can concentrate on data analysis. That's all. So these are the basically service details of Elastic MapReduce. You can also use enables job flows. So you can create the job, MapReduce job, which will be using a SQL-like structure as well, such as Hive and Pig. By default, the non-SQL kind of a job flow is always provided in MapR, but it also allows you, EMR also allows you to use the SQL-like language like Hive and Pig for developing your MapReduce jobs. So that is the basic high-level understanding of EMR. Now let us see about what are the prices for using this service. Again, the prices varies from region to region, so you have to be just careful that how much you are going to use, which region you are using, and all that. So there are two parts of this price. One part is called which region. Next one is that Amazon will charge you for a bare bone EC2 and then the MapR distribution software which you are going to use. So for both of them you have to pay the price. So the total price will be this plus this. This is the total price. Okay. So this is the total price for your distribution for using this service. 0.08 per hour plus 0.015 cents per hour. Okay. So this is 8 cents, this is 1.5 cents. So it comes around 9.5 cents per hour. And depends on how big you need the MapR on what kind of a server, these prices are there. Currently, this service is available only in selected region. It is not available in all regions. It is available in US, European, Asia Pacific, and South America regions. In fact, if you want a very high-end system, then you can also get it and that for this one, this is the very high-end system. If you want MapReduce at a very high end, then this is the amount of, it comes around $3 per hour. So it is pretty high. Cluster compute 8 extra large. So very, very high end system with almost $3 per hour. So it comes around almost $70 per day. Sometimes people need it because they want a very, very high system, but just for 1 month. So it will cost you just $2,000, and in $2,000 you can get a very high-end system for full month, which is almost impossible if you want to buy it. If you want to buy a very high-end system, it will cost you way above than $100,000 or $1 million. Now let us think about what are the business use cases or benefits of EMR or Elastic MapReduce. First is that if you have a task or use case where you want to analyze a very large set of historical data, okay. So what historical data means, that let us assume you have a particular stock exchange, you want to analyze how the stock prices of various companies moved over last 100 years or 50 years. That could be one use case, and that will require a huge amount of computing resource to process that data and analyze it. Sometimes what happens is that it may not be a historical data, it is a log data. So what happens that some of the applications like Facebook, Twitter and all, and stock exchange transaction data, within couple of days or month, the amount of log file which gets generated itself goes into very high, and that sometimes we need to process for some kind of a understanding the behavior of the user of that system, how they are using, what they are using. To understand the behavior of the user of that system, number of times we analyze the log files of their interaction or transaction with the system, and that is what is the next one called analyze the huge petabytes of server log file for business intelligence on a regular basis, so that you can understand how the behavior is changing over the time. Sometimes another use case could be you want to do a mathematical computation or algorithm check or biochemical testing. Those computations are also very computing intensive. It takes a lot of CPU and processing. That kind of a thing will also require a Elastic EMR kind of a service or Elastic MapReduce or Hadoop, whatever you call it. Obviously, the last and most important business use case for doing all of these things, if you are going to buy your own servers, now buying a very high-end 100 server will cost you millions and millions of rupees, and then after 1 month all of that money will be wasted because you are not going to use it. So whenever you are going to need it for a short duration of a month or 6 months or something, a very high-end system to process a large amount of data, you might want to just think about Elastic MapReduce or EMR service available in AWS. So let us quickly recap what are the business use cases and benefits for us. First is that analyze a very large set of historical data, analyze the huge petabytes of log file for business intelligence purpose. If you need a mathematical computation, algorithm check, or a biochemical testing, anything like that, you would definitely need EMR service because it helps you to do that. It is much cheaper than buying yourself a large server. Okay. So these are the business use cases or benefits of using EMR of AWS. Now, as a developer, if you want to use it, the first and most important thing what you should be careful about is that you must know in details about Hadoop itself before you can use the EMR service. So knowing the Hadoop administration is a prerequisite, and you should definitely learn about Hadoop administration before you are going to use EMR service. If you want to know a little bit detail about this, then you can use this link and understand and read about EMR service in little more detail. So that brings down to our closer of our service called Elastic MapReduce from AWS. Okay.